Alright, what's up everyone? I don't mean to make this video sound like, like one of those serious YouTube videos, but just hear me out. And also you might notice that I'm recording on my phone, because I just think it sounds better than my headset microphone. But yeah, anyways. Alright, so this video is on a project I made in Roblox called Infiltration, but before we actually get into that, let's run through some history from me before we actually jump into the project and I talk about stuff. Alright, so I've been developing in Roblox for like more than 4 years, and in that time, I've been a builder for probably like 2 years and a scripter for 2 years, and I'm still going at pretty much everything. I've also done like small things that were probably like half a year or like 1 year, like I don't know, like graphic design and audio design and like modeling and I guess UI design. And in that time, I've definitely had my ups and downs, like this one that I'm gonna talk to you, which is a down. I've been trying to create games and projects, and some of them have flopped, or some of them are basically just like prototypes, or some of them are just like maps for like other games or something. But yeah, some of my games have failed and have probably almost got close to being finished, but have failed just because it was too much to handle and I didn't have the skill required, and I probably, thought too big of what the game was going to be. But when I actually jumped in and, made it, like, I had to put more in than I thought. And especially because I'm a solo developer, it especially makes it hard, but I know that there's a lot of solo developers that can still make great stuff. And for over probably like 2 years or 3 years, I've had games that have flopped and stuff, which I think most of them I just deleted. There's only one game in particular, I'll put it in the description. It's called Obstacle Adventure. Like, it's basically just like a platformer thing. It's like one of the first games that I've ever finished, and yeah, it's a little like half-assed, like baked down, but yeah, I'm fine with it. I like the level design that I put into it, which is one of the things that I'm happy for. I've also released a game, fully completed a game called Velocity. I'll also put it in the description. It's basically like a 2D platformer game inspired by Super Meat Boy, but I kind of add my own mechanics and stuff. And I've noticed that the reason why I don't finish projects is because sometimes I just don't release them, or I think that I need to add so much content to them, when really, if you got a game, you got a game. If it's playable, even if it's just like a prototype and it probably has like, I don't know, like 10 levels or something, I'd still release it to the public. And also another thing that I also need to improve on is scope, which is basically knowing what you can tackle and stuff, and like knowing your skills and what you can make, which it is hard to master scope. Alright, so now we're up to the point where I can talk about the project I wanted to talk about, which is Infiltration. It's basically just this prototype game I made on Roblox, where it's a roguelike game where you're supposed to like kill enemies with like either like melee weapons or guns and all that stuff. And the more you progress the floors, the darker and more red the floors get. I did that on purpose just to make it seem like a little more underground and maybe even like dangerous, or almost like if you're going into hell or something. It was like a simple game that I wanted to make, and it was just gonna be a prototype. I was just gonna probably take like at least like 2 months, but I took more than that. I took like probably like 4 months, and I didn't even get everything I wanted. I mean, it's a prototype, so if it's playable and it shows off at least the bare minimum of what you wanted to make, then yeah, that's a prototype. But the prototype that I made, it feels more like pre-prototype, like it's still in development, and yet like I just feel burnt out from it. Like I ran into so many problems and shit, and that's why it just felt like I wasted time. But maybe I'm just expecting a lot from scripting and stuff, and plus I'm only like almost out of like intermediate and into advanced like scripting. Like I know like just most of, like, let's say like the Dev King's scripting tutorials that are like intermediate, and other stuff like that, like I don't know, like Alvin Block stuff like that. It's just for like 2 years of scripting. I feel like I should be a little bit better, but there's still probably a very long way to go, and it obviously takes some scripters like lots of years, like I don't know, probably 5 or like 3 or 4 to like really get good at it. But also sometimes the Roblox engine can kind of just feel inconvenient or just like weird sometimes, or like sometimes something doesn't work and I don't know why, and it doesn't even give an error too. If it gave an error, that's understandable, but sometimes it doesn't give an error. So maybe I just need more tools to help with scripting, and probably search up more problems that I have in Roblox Studio when I'm scripting and stuff, because there's a lot you can get out of searching up problems that you have in your scripting. And maybe I'm just denying resources, or I'm not using them enough and stuff, or maybe Roblox's engine is just kind of inconvenient, because that's what it feels like sometimes. But sometimes it obviously feels like it is my fault, and you can usually, if you're really good at scripting, you can usually just like work around it, pretty much like everything. I hope this video doesn't sound like I'm complaining, but I just felt like I needed to put it out there, just because I wanted people to see, like, maybe it'll help them out, or people could help me out in the comment section, or maybe inspired some people, or just stuff like that. I just felt like I kind of needed to put this out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you found this video informative. Do what you want if you want to support me and stuff. And yeah, see you.